Okay, at the end, or no, during your class, okay, and I've mentioned this in other videos, but I want to stress it now. You never ever want to give a private lesson to one little person that asked you a single question. What you're going to do is as soon as that person asks the question, you're going to say, okay, everybody stop. Everybody listen to Blair. She has a question. Okay, come over here, everybody. What is the question? And then she asks the question, and then that person says, okay, this is how we answer the question. And everybody in the whole group will gather around to hear the question and to hear the answer. Okay? That's super important, number one. Never give a private lesson in your group, because we're having situations where you're answering one person's question and you don't realize that that person is taking your time and they're asking another question and another. Pretty soon you don't realize it. 5-10 minutes has gone by and everybody else in the group is going, WTF, man, you know, I'm just sitting here. And then they don't come back the next day, okay? The next thing is this. You always ask at the end of your class when you're reviewing your board. So like at the end of the class, you're going to say, okay, what did we learn today, all right? Let's take a look at, we were at week 3, so we learned her hip, his waist, and we learned there's 5 ways of doing a hip, 4 ways of doing his waist, and we were at, you could say left, right turn, whatever, and we also learned the dip at right, whatever, okay? You just go down the board and recap and summarize. Then you say these 3 important things. Did you learn something? Yes. Are you glad you came? Yes. Are you guys going to come back next week? Yes. Now, if you're in Fundamentals 1, at that point you say, are you guys going to come back next week? Yes. If you are, you're not going to be in this group anymore. You're going to move on to Fundamentals 2. If you're in Fundamentals 2, you're going to say, are you going to come back next week? Yes. Okay, you're not going to be in this group anymore. You're going to move on to White 1. Are you going to come back next week? If you're in White 1, they're going to say yes. Okay, next week, this is what we're going to do. And do a short little review of head loops and tailbones if you're in week 3. Or do a little demonstration of what they're going to be doing next week, okay? But always tell them or ask them, are you going to come back next week? Because this is what we're going to learn. If you just say, okay, you know, put it in, and then you do hip hip hooray or whatever, and you don't ask them about next week, and you don't show them a little taste of what they'll learn next week, guess what? It's a 50-50 crapshoot whether they're going to show up next time or not, okay? And this is how we are losing students, is that you guys are not encouraging them to come back next week. You're teaching little private lessons. You need to Borgify your group, include them in everything, and make sure that they come back next week. And also mention, hey, I teach private lessons. If you guys want to move up to the next level, come talk to me or to whoever else, wherever, teaching if you don't want to teach private lessons yet, and we can help you get there quicker. So at the end of the class, that is when you want to sell your privates and sell the next class. During the class, you want to make sure that everybody has each other's phone number, for example. Like everybody loves Facebook. Why? Because they can get a hold of each other and tell them about their day. Well, during the class, you should also be saying, hey, you guys should get together, and you guys should be getting together and exchange phone numbers and practice so that you guys aren't so lost next week, okay? So you've got to sell, sell, sell in order to get people to come back. And that's how you get also people to like you. And if they like you, they'll ask you for private lessons, okay?